Hey, what's going on, family? Welcome to our Monday live stream. I have to thank Ambernique because Lord knows I'm on vacation with my family. I would not have jumped on tonight if it wasn't for Ambernique and her holding me accountable to do this with you all every single Monday. Monday live stream, we're going to talk about the housing market. We have a couple things we need to talk about: the broken housing market and what I mean by that. We also have new information regarding interest rates. And if you live here in the Carolinas, we have some grant programs that you will want to know about. We also have a giveaway, so stick around for that later on. News regarding the giveaway. Without further ado, here is Amber Neek. What's
Hello,
going on,
hello,
sister?
hello. What's going on? Y'all see, you didn't even invite me on vacation. I thought I was family too.
Oh man. So yeah, I am. If you haven't come, North Carolina is just a beautiful state. The Carolinas in general, but I am in Lake Lore right now. It is absolutely beautiful right now. The sun is setting over the mountains, and we're up. There's a pool back there. Sits on like a little makeshift golf course as well. It is. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. I can't lie. Um,
It looks
Please
beautiful.
leave a comment, drop in the chat where you're watching from. Thank you for rocking with us on this Monday night. Now, don't let Ambernique fool you. She's always saying I'm late. I was ready. I was ready. Even though I'm in a different situation, different environment, I was ready to go. She was over there messing around with the. She's in the office. She's messing around with the mic and everything, and I'm like, I'm ready to start at 7:40.
You know what? I will take the blame today. I'm in a different office, so the setup was different. So it's my
Yeah.
fault today. He was on time. He
Yeah.
called me. I act like I didn't see the call. But yeah.
You did send me straight to voicemail, and then I saw you pop on in the backstage. I'm
I'm
like,
like,
oh,
I'm
that's
coming.
why I
I'm
went to
coming.
voicemail. No worries, no worries.
But no, we are here. I'm excited for tonight. I just love
Yes,
when there's a giveaway. Such great news.
there is good news. Good news. We want to talk about interest rates. What's happening right now? We have you sent me something this weekend about a $25,000 grant here in the Greater Charlotte region, and there were some articles I saw about South Carolina I want to address, and then also more housing grant information. And we're going to start on 5 factors that could sway the housing market because we're sort of at this tipping point where rates are higher than they had been the past 2, 3 years, and inventory is building. Now, inventory is not anywhere near what it was back in 2019 or what 2014, right when we recovered from the Great Recession, where I can't think of the exact number. I believe it was several million, but right now we are about $400,000 home, $4,000, 400,000 homes short in inventory than what we were just in 2019 before the pandemic. So yes, inventory is picking up in certain parts of the country, and that's causing houses to stay on the market a little longer. And we'll touch on that in 1 second. Please, if you have any comments, leave them below. Any questions, we are here to answer them. And if we don't know the answer, we'll tell you we don't know, and we'll get back to you. And we'll try to bring guests on to address certain needs and issues revolving around home buying and finance and just how it can help you on your journey.
Yeah, because we needed a guest for next Monday. So if anybody want to jump, drop in the chat, is there, any professional that you want to see? Any questions that you may have so that we can bring on people that you're interested in, not just, people who we pick to come on. So what we've
All
had
right.
credit repair, we've had a builder.
Yep.
Who do we need
Go ahead. I'm
next?
sorry. We This is something where we both need to be better because there was something I knew we were going Tuesday. And on Thursday, we had some people come by the office you're in right now, talk about different programs that's offered in this area. And we are like, oh, we need to get him on the channel. David Aponte. Do you
Yeah,
remember this conversation?
the
Yeah.
case.
The Chase. Yeah,
Absolutely.
we need to get him. So that's why I need to schedule that, get him on the channel. And again, we just need to be aware of the various resources out there, make more people aware of the various resources out there so we can help as many people as possible because we have a goal. We have a program, a community, Empower 50, to where this year, from what, June to December, we want to help at least 50 families buy a home. Doesn't have to be first time home buyers. We want to help 50 families buy a home. Talk to us a little bit about this community, Empowering 50, Renee.
Yeah, and before I do, because
Mhm.
I think a lot of people, let's touch on what is a first time home buyer.
Yes.
So, a lot of people may think that a first time home buyer is you buying your home for the first time, which, that's not correct. So there's many programs and grants that scream, this is for first time home buyers. But, first being a first time home buyer, it's just not black and white. um,
No.
you don't have to, I guess, quote unquote, be a first time home buyer. So as long as you don't have a home in your name at the time, there's grants that you can take advantage of.
Yep.
Um, so yeah,
And
so
there's a
there's
lot of
different.
first time home buyer programs where so long as you have not owned a home in the last 2 years. So let's say you bought a home during in the early 2000s or whatever, you may have lost it for whatever reason, or you sold it. You still can be classified as a first time home buyers in a lot of these programs if you have not owned a home in the last 2 or 3 years, or if you just don't own a home right now, presently. So again, reach out to us. We'll be able to go through the nitty gritty, the fine print to find out if you qualify as a first time home buyer.
Yes, so there's, many grants, many things available that, that we don't want to see you guys, leave on the table because those resources are there for you. And, if people don't use them, you lose them. So we just want to, give you that education. And that's why we started Empower 50, because there is a lot of misconceptions out there about buying a home, about selling a home, about getting an investment property. So, with this community, we are here to give you the tools and resources that you need to start to build generational wealth.
Yes. And I just put the link to being able to join our Empower 50 community that is in the chat right now. We have 18 people watching. Thank you all for rocking with us. Put your name, leave a comment, let me know where you're watching from. And I'm about to jump into this first article and 5 factors why the home prices could plummet or skyrocket. Because again, we are really at a tipping point right now. And now I don't believe home prices will plummet just because of demographics right now, but I am not, I'm the first to tell you, I am not 100% correct. I'm wrong a lot of the times. But based on regarding the housing market for the past, what, 4 years, I have been correct. Home prices have not crashed, although transactions have. Transactions went down significantly. I've been calling that for the last 2 years, but yet home prices either keep going up or remaining steady. And nationally, they're up 4%, just under 4% year over year. So, 5 factors. Big thing is time of sale. Timing is everything in the housing market. Um, like to the traditional time to buy and sell is right around spring and summer before the school year start in the summer. Now, that's playing significantly in today's market because we're in the heat of summer, right when it's supposed to be a lot of selling, but homes are sitting on the market a little longer right now. So that is playing contributing to why there's a little trepidation in the housing market. We put this up there just so you know, the chat right there. Join our community, Empower 50. Now, had this conversation with a customer, not a client just yet, just soon will be a client, about the housing market and when is the best time to buy. And I, I'll be transparent with you. The best time to buy is when you're ready, right? Now, when can you get the best deals typically, historically, you can get the best deals in the fourth quarter, November, December. when people that are putting their homes on the market to sell at that time typically need to sell. But nobody really, if you can avoid moving during the holidays, most people would rather do so. So typically, when people put their homes on the market during that time, they need to sell. They're more motivated to sell, so you can get a good deal. The downside of that is you're not really getting much option. You're restricted to what's on the market, and not a lot of homes are typically on the market during that time. Ebony, what do you think about the timing of the market and best timing of the sale and everything?
So it's, generally,
Okay.
now is, the time to sell. But to
Hmm.
be honest with you, real estate is changing, and it has changed since COVID. So now
Hmm.
it's, when you're for buying, when you're able to, it's, I wouldn't wait around to say,
Yeah.
you know oh, I'm going to wait until this time to buy, because you don't you don't know what the
I'm
market is
laughing because I
going
heard that so many times.
to. Yes,
I've,
and I was just
I've
having
heard
this
people,
conversation.
yeah, yeah.
I just had this
I'm
conversation
sorry.
with someone,
Hmm.
especially, and these are for, the people making, I would say, 50,000 and under. Now
Yep.
is definitely the time for you to buy, for you to make a move. Reason being, if you continue to wait, you don't if you don't have a ton of savings or anything like that, if the interest rates go down just a little bit and you say, "Oh, I'm ready now," but you don't have, that window to compete in the market, then
Hmm.
you've lost your chance. So now,
Yep.
you're going to get into where you need a
Yeah.
cosigner, or you need
Exactly.
somebody, to cosign, and it's hard to find a cosigner. Buying a home is a big purchase, and I know if my friend, a family member, came and asked me to be a cosigner, I'm going to look at them like something that's good and wrong with you, because
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
co-signing, on, that's a big commitment. So,
That's a huge
you want,
commitment.
yes, so it's very
Yeah.
huge. So if you, are in that category, to whereas, and it's nothing wrong with it at all, but if home ownership is on your mind, you want to start, now is the time to do so, because home prices are steadily rising. And, and as we know, the, minimum wage income is not going at that rate as well. So if you want to get
No.
on the home ownership totem pole, now is the time to definitely make a move when you're able to do so, while there are many resources and you don't have a lot of competition to say that you
Right.
have to put $10,000 down that you may or may not have.
No, most definitely. That is one of those things to where it's almost a catch 22, where people, and I didn't put it in the show notes that I sent you, or I can bring up the article. We talked about the median income. I did a short on it. So if you're not following Ambernique and I on Instagram, please do so. Sir underscore real estate. Ambernique, what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is I'm selling the Carolinas.
Perfect. Um, I will put that in the chat in a second. But I put out a reel recently talking about the cost of living in the major cities in North Carolina. And to live comfortably, not cost of living. To live comfortably here in the Charlotte area, you have to make around 100,000, just over 100,000, $100,600, and in Raleigh it's 106,000, and Durham 100,000, and in Winston Salem and Greensboro it's around 78, $79,000. So I say that to say, if you do not earn that amount and you're trying to buy a home, now is your time to take advantage, because the moment interest rates drop, and I just said the amount to live comfortably, you have tons of people making that income in those locations. When they come to the market to be able to looking to buy, they're going to come with their wallets ready. You want to be able to get in when they're sitting on the sidelines. And when you put together something that has a 25, or put together an offer and it says, okay, we're also using this $25,000 grant, this $12,000 grant, this $7,500 grant, you want the seller to look favorably on your offer, because when you bring in grant money, you're bringing in a third party. And the seller, I'm not saying they don't care where the money comes from, but they don't. So when you're saying you're bringing in a third party, they're wondering, okay, what kind of delays or red tape is going to have to come with this offer? It's not as clean as an offer that doesn't come with those grant monies or third parties attached to it. So you have to know where you stand in just in respective of placing your offer and how appealing or attractive it may look compared to somebody that doesn't have to come through with or make an offer with down payment assistance attached to it. So the timing definitely matters. um Give me one second. Time of sale, location. Now, one thing about real estate that's consistent is location matters. Now, I can't speak for everywhere in the country. One thing I can speak for is the Carolinas and the Florida area. In Florida, we do a lot of business in Florida, and location. There's very highly sought after, desirable locations in both states, all three states, and the prices are not coming down. Now, parts of Florida over by the coast where you're dealing with hurricane damage and insurance issues, yes, prices are coming down. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, or Orlando's, Tampa, um, you're still in a very highly desirable location, and prices are holding steady, if not going up. So I want you aware of that.
So, can we go to the comments?
Migration trends. I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Emily.
No, I was going to say before you continue to
Yeah, we
go.
got it. We got a thumbs
So
down.
we got a thumbs down. So I would like for welfare office to elaborate
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
why did we get a thumbs
Please,
down?
please.
What did you, not agree with? Um, yeah, so we can have an open discussion because I'm pretty sure if you have that
Look,
concern, many others do as well.
yes, most definitely. And I mean, this is not all just sunshine and rainbows. If we're saying something incorrect, by all means, bring it to our bring it to our attention, or that you believe is incorrect. Let's have a honest, open debate and dialogue regarding the facts, not feelings, but the facts regarding the housing market.
Yeah, and while we're waiting, to see if they comment, just over the weekend, I had a client go under contract on a new construction house for $500. So if that's not saying, now is the time, because when interest
Yeah.
drop, $500 isn't going to get you anywhere.
No, no. You had for what? For $300,000 properties, you had people putting down $20,000 due diligence and earnest money. So your $500 is not going to get you anywhere. And you're talking about new construction during that same time frame for that price point. You're talking 10 to 15% down.
Yeah.
So you have to get in where you fit in, right? I'm not gonna. Is it fair? Absolutely not. Life isn't fair. Like, we should have learned that early on, right? You should have learned that early on. It's not fair.
So yeah. So life isn't
Um,
fair, but I feel, right now for um that income bracket, now is your time.
Welfare, give us something. No? All right, let's I'll come back. I will come back to you, welfare office. Um, Anything regarding new construction? I mean, I'm sorry, new construction. I'll look at see where it says location. When you look at location, look and see where developers are going and where they're building, because they've already done the research to see, is this going to be a hot market, a developing market, and you want to be either in that market or adjacent so you can tag along with that appreciation. What's the next one? We have migration trends. This again has to do with location and just people's movement. Right now, I say everybody's coming to the Carolinas, and it's factually correct, although it
Yes.
has been deathly hot. although it has been deathly hot. Oh my goodness. Um, I've been up here closer to God in these mountains, and I just feel I'm just closer to the sun, and I'm like I'm already dark, and it's like man,
But I guess I'm just so used to the humidity from Charleston. Like I haven't.
yeah.
It's hot, but I haven't been hot. I actually walked probably almost a mile for lunch today. Like,
Wait, in the hood in Plaza Midwood,
don't do that. You talk about in the hood.
in Plaza Midwood. Now, for those of you familiar with Charlotte, Plaza
It's
Midwood
probably not a
was
mile.
well.
Yeah.
Plaza Midwood. I'm trying to think. I lived uptown 2000. I don't know. Daughter's born 2012 ish, maybe. And Plaza Midwood was the hood then, but then it gentrified. It became very nice. Got the whole big Harris Teeter and then the office building right there. But recently, in the past month, it's been going crazy in Plaza Midwood. You have people getting out of their cars, shooting at each other.
I heard about that today,
Yeah,
actually.
and
When
it,
I
it
wanted
wasn't
to,
us. It wasn't us. It's
y'all,
a
I'm not
win.
like, sir, I promise you, I don't discriminate. I will walk in the hood too. But yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah, I
not even
didn't know
gonna.
about it.
No, I will. I mean, I have. I will. I'm not door knocking, right? But I walk. But
Really?
I will. No, the telltale sign of a changing neighborhood is if people are running outside just for sport. So if people are jogging and just up and down the sidewalk just for sport, and they weren't jogging in that neighborhood for sport 2, 3 months ago, or even a year ago, you need to look at buying in that neighborhood.
I never paid attention to that.
I mean, think about where you grew up in Charleston. I can think about where I grew up in Rochester. Nobody was just jogging outside.
No.
Like nobody was just jogging outside. No. That's not that's not one of those things you just do where we're from. So,
Yeah.
but with that said,
I may
migration
jog in
trends.
Plaza Midwood tomorrow.
I'm gonna pray for you. For you. Um, so migration trends. Uh, the pandemic spurred on and remote work allow people to really take a hard look at where they want to live and raise their family. Do they want to be in, I don't know, a condo that's 1,100 square feet that was what, $500,000 or more, or do they want a single family home with the yard for 350, 400,000, right? But be able to still keep that same salary that they had in New York or out west. And a lot of people are moving to the Carolinas because they're able to get more home, enjoy the outdoors, and just more affordable cost of living. So you have to look at that. Are you moving to an area, wanting to live in an area where people are moving to? Number four is inventory supply. And this is something I've been touching on for a while and mentioned it earlier how inventory has picked up in certain parts of the country, but it's still very, very low compared to what it was pre pandemic. So, depending on inventory, could make or break home prices. If inventory remains low or even goes lower, that's not a good sign saying that prices are going to come down. In fact, I read this earlier today that last week, new listings that came to the market were the lowest ever on record. Now, I don't think I can stress that enough. New listings, the lowest ever, meaning that's less inventory coming to the market. So, with less inventory coming to the market, home prices are going to remain steady, if not go up. And the reason why there's less inventory on the market is because sellers, when they don't put their home on the market, That's obviously less inventory. So sellers are reluctant to put their homes on the market. And the homes that are on the market, did a deep dive. A lot of them are sitting on the market, but the sellers have a wish price. I don't know if you've seen this, Ambernique. They have a wish price to where, if you look at it, have they reduced their home price at all since it's been listed? No. They're like, I will sell my home if I get X dollar. I'm not talking about new construction. I'm talking about resale homes. If I get X dollar, but if they don't get that dollar amount, that home just sits on the market. That doesn't sound like a motivated seller or somebody that is actually considering selling their home. Because so while it does show up as increased inventory, I think I almost don't even consider that real inventory, because those sellers know that their home is not priced correctly to sell, and they're not reducing it because they're locked in at a 2, 3, or 4% interest rate.
Correct. And that's called testing the market. They just want to test the market out
Yeah,
and
exactly,
see if
exactly.
it'll sell.
Yeah. Um, so we have that, the inventory. So my fear is, if inventory continues like it did last week, not coming to the market, home prices will stay elevated. Even with, well, in spite of what I see as, well, number 5, increase in interest rates. Now, this is something that I don't believe is happening. I believe interest rates will come down, but interest rates are that variable that could really determine what happens. Because if interest rates do go up, theoretically, because people said this, what, 2 years ago, when rates were 2, 3, 4%, interest rates went up, home prices would have to drop 10% every point. That hasn't happened. But theoretically, if interest rates go up and stay elevated to 9, 10, then yes, to make homes affordable, resale homes, people that, owner occupied homes, would have to decrease their price to make it more affordable for the masses. But we haven't seen that. Builders are very creative with giving seller concessions. We've gone over that multiple times, what that means. They give you 10, 15. I know a builder right now giving $25,000 seller concessions, and you can buy down your interest rate and pay closing costs, where only thing you're really coming out of pocket is that 3% down payment. And you get a cheaper monthly payment in the, what did I just have? Somebody in the 5% range, when the standard interest rate is around 6.7, 6.8 right now. So here we go. Increase interest rate is number 5. This chat is very quiet. You wanna do your thing, Ambernique? Because they respond to yelling at them.
No, I see that it's very quiet. Who has any question? You guys know I love engagement. Um, okay. We got a question.
Jocelyn Brown, I will be purchasing a new home, hopefully in October, November timeframe, in Wendell or Zebulon. Do you think prices of homes and interest rates will drop? I'm also in the NACA program. Um, Jocelyn, congratulations on going your journey of home ownership. 2 things I have. I'll just be remiss if I didn't ask you, do you have a real estate agent? If not, I know 2 on this chat right now that would love to be able to help you. Um, and regarding that area, Wendell and Zebulon, is I don't think home prices will drop. Now, interest rates, we're going to touch on that a little later. So I will
But in
abstain
with this
answering that
situation,
question, but go ahead.
it's different. So with NACA, her interest
Hmm.
rate is going to be it's going to be different.
Yep.
Um, so it's not the standard, and then she could buy it down even further. So if it decides, if she goes with new construction or resale, she can, buy her interest rate down even further. I love it. I love it. Congratulations. I love NACA. It's like everybody sleeps on NACA.
They do, because it's a lot of red tape. But right now, this is one thing I want you just to be considerate of. There is a lot of red tape, and I love that program as well. Actually, I have a listing in Waxhaw right now, Ambernique, and my client, Waxhaw is a very highly desirable location here in the Charlotte region. the best schools in North Carolina. Um, Wake County will fight me on this, but Weddington, pound for pound, beats them in testing. Um, but they bought that or their first home with the NACA program. I ended up selling that home, and they were able to use the proceeds from that home to buy in this amazing community in Weddington. So again, your first home isn't going to be your last home. Use it as a stepping stone, and take advantage of what's being offered around us.
Yeah, because I had a client who closed with NACA. She bought a triplex. So right now, it was about a year, 2 years ago, out in Kannapolis by the baseball
Hmm.
stadium. So she probably has about $1 million property right now.
Yeah, yeah. What is NACA? Go ahead, Amber Nate.
Oh, I thought you wanted to answer. So NACA, so NACA is a home buyers program. So with this program, you cannot have a home in your name at the time of purchase. They do not consider credit score. Um, the goal of NACA is to get you into a home that you can afford so that you stay into your home. You get credit counseling, you get financial counseling. So they go through, everything basically to get you ready for home ownership. To be honest, a lot of people don't like it. You have to be, what's the word I want to use? I want to say driven. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's the right word
You
that I
have
want
to
to
you have to
use.
want it. You have to want it.
Yeah,
Nothing comes easy in this world. I am sorry. Like you have to make sacrifices. And if you're talking about getting money, somebody to give you money, you're gonna have to make some kind of sacrifices. Very rarely is somebody just gonna give you $10,000. If they do, please sign me up. I want to be in line for that. Right. Like,
right.
but no, you got to take a program. You got to go through classes. There's steps in order to get it, because one, we as a community, as a society, need to be good stewards of what we have, right? And they want to make sure that you have the understanding and how to be a good steward. I pulled up the NACA website right here. It says NACA fights to close the racial wealth disparity gap through character-based lending. Character-based lending. They want to make sure that the people they're giving money to go through these different programs, seminars, and are of the right character. So yeah.
So yeah, so no, that was amazing. But yeah, but if you decide to go through NACA, I would just say be ready, be patient, because they will not allow you to rush them. They will teach you all the resources that you need to be a homeowner, including the number one thing is budgeting.
Yeah. No, most definitely. Jocelyn, she's going with the NACO Realtor. I'm with it. Has she been moving to the Charlotte or Concord area, she would have reached out to us. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I do have to tell everyone that while we are in the greater Charlotte area, we have team throughout the Carolinas. Actually, just talked to some people this weekend. We're opening up an office in the Charleston area. We're opening up an office in the Raleigh area. We have an office that's already open in the Greensboro area. So we are growing. We are, again, throughout the Carolinas and beyond. But we're growing. So I know we are here in the Charlotte, Concord area, Gastonia, Gaston County, but we can help people throughout both states. So don't feel like you're handcuffed just because you're buying outside of our area. I actually had somebody recently just buy outside my service area, and I was very intimately involved in the transaction. Now, was I there for everything? Absolutely not. But was I aware of everything and knew exactly what was taking place and made sure that all of our I's were dotted, T's were crossed? Yes. Yes. Couple questions. Suggest resource that can edify me on real estate. I want to know what you know. Your info is great. I do not know the vocabulary and terms. Thank you. Respect. Blessings. I say, what is going to be my pitch, Ambernique?
I don't know.
I say
Subscribe because I think you talk about it.
subscribe, but join the Empower 50 community and be part of our Facebook group community, and you will learn what we know, and we're going to learn from you all as far as what you're. I like talking to people just to know what's going on in the public, right? I only know what's happening through the lens of everybody else. Like, while I may have one perspective talking to agents and my set of clients, but I'm not naive to think I know what everybody's thinking and what everybody's experiencing. So I rely on you all. But go ahead and join our Empower 50. I just put the link to be able to join in the chat just now. And it's one of those things, talking about vocabulary. Ortez mentioned this to me, and I haven't done it, obviously. Once a week, talk about some real estate term and break it down. Just do a video on a real estate term and break it down. Like, what does that word mean? Type thing.
Okay. That's a good idea.
I
I
like
have
it.
it in
I do
my
like
home
it.
buyer's guide, but I've
Mm-hmm.
never, well, you know, I don't do videos anyways, but I have it in my home buyer's guide.
Yeah. All right. So let's touch on real quick, because we talked about location, right? And desirability. And let's talk about two reasons. I don't know if this is showing up right here. Yes. Two reasons why South Carolina is the fastest growing state in our nation. Who would have thought? South Carolina. And this was just published July 15th, right? South Carolina grew by 1.7% in 2023 to a population of 5.3 million people. And the birth rate in South Carolina has actually dropped, but more people are moving to the state. Now, they're moving to the state for several reasons. Embernique, why do you think people are moving to South Carolina?
Um, let's see. No, I'm just kidding. So I know. So for one, the seafood.
Oh my
People are
goodness, I
moving for
was
the
not what I would have. That was not on my radar at all.
people are moving for the crabs.
All
I'm
right.
just kidding. But no.
Now, with that said, Embernique had a full 8-minute conversation. We're supposed to be doing a buyer consultation, and they went and talked about Maryland crabs, Charleston crabs, and seafood, and like the home buying consultation was went secondary to them organizing a time to go eat. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I love crabs. And actually, with that same client, we are meeting for brunch in the morning. But also, I was at New Construction doing a virtual tour for another client, and this woman came in. She was just like, "I'm from Florida. I'm new to the area." She
Yeah.
didn't have an agent or whatever. I said, "You from Florida?" And we started talking about crabs. But yeah, I did have a buyer's consultation at Crafty Crab because I love crabs, y'all. I do. I love crabs. So outside of the crabs, second to the crabs, there are tons of jobs.
Yeah. Tons of jobs. Like, manufacturing is big in South Carolina. Boeing right now. I know somebody that just took a very good job at Boeing here in the Charleston area. So yeah, it is a lot of manufacturing jobs and just jobs in general. You don't have to be just in manufacturing.
Yeah. Did that article
Um,
say where's the fastest growing area?
Welfare office. I see you left a comment again. Tell us give us a rationale for the thumbs down. Let's have a dialogue, a conversation. What did you not like? What did we say that you didn't like or agree with, for that matter?
And we could talk about it over crabs.
Here we go.
If you're
All
local.
right, hold on. If you're local, where does it say? It says, however, the boom is only expected to happen in certain areas. Rural areas are shrinking, while cities like Charleston and Columbia are expected to see the most growth. Experts predict South Carolina population will expand by 19% over the next 20 years. Now that is significant. And I think that is 100% correct. Now I would have thrown in the Greenville area.
Hmm.
I would have thrown that one in, but between Greenville, Columbia, and Charleston, that's where everything is going. Like Greenville, I was surprised that the growth happening over there, and Columbia is what, an hour, 15 minutes from where I live, and I love that area. Columbia, Blythewood, Blythewood is like what, 45 minutes. Lot of bang for your buck, and a lot of opportunity, new construction and resale.
So renters in the Columbia area, because
Hmm.
Columbia is, right now very affordable. So
Yep.
those of you, if you're watching, if you have a friend, a family member, and they're in the Columbia area, you need to share this information with them, because if they continue to rent based on the growth, this article is everywhere. And most people move to where they see are the hot areas where the jobs are. So they
Yep.
need to get it now, before it's too late and they're priced out. Now they have to move outside of Columbia.
Yeah. Now there's some good areas outside of Columbia, but if you want to be in Columbia proper, definitely take advantage of it now. What was I looking at? Sorry, I got distracted. Who reached out to me? Okay, where we at here? Oh, Jocelyn, do we help? Can we help with the church purchasing land and building? Absolutely. Absolutely, we deal with that space, whether it be development or commercial. We handle that as well. We have a commercial division, development division, where good news again, development division. We have somebody in our office just secured some land. We're about to build 40 townhouses, so that's huge here in the Charlotte area. Talk about the need for housing, need, and it's in Charlotte proper. Talk about the need for housing and for it to be more affordable and everything. Only way it's going to get more affordable is if there's more inventory coming to the market, and we're going to be working on that project. 40 different townhomes. We'll give updates, snippets, videos. Right now, it's in the planning stages, but yeah, we'll definitely bring you that news and updates.
And
But
it
reach out
also,
to us.
we missed a question as well.
Which one?
Called 3%.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, would you expect the interest rates to drop after the election, but inventory remain low? I will. You go for it, Amber.
Good
I mean,
Lord.
I will answer it. I'll answer it as well. But I mean, they come for you. I just did a whole soliloquy about 5 minutes ago. So they come for you.
No. So to be honest with you, there, I believe that there is going to be um, an interest rate drop. I think it's going to be before the election, though, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
So, inventory is still low. Inventory will start to pick up, especially on the resale spectrum. Once those sellers see that interest rates go down, that's their opportunity, because now they're seeing that they can buy a home with a better rate.
Yep. Thank you, Jocelyn. Yes, please let them know. We'll definitely love to help and be of any assistance we can. And yes, we do handle the Blythewood area. My We handle it, but I do have a broker, Paul, with Lifestyle. He definitely handles that area as well. So reach out to us, Blythewood. Actually, I haven't put it on the channel. I have like 30 house tours I need to upload. Don't be mad at me. But two of them are actually in Blythewood, where it's like a 6 bedroom, huge home for what, $400,000, 420. I don't want to exaggerate, 420, by by a national builder that is very good. So Blythewood is a very good area, and you can get a lot of bang for your buck. Because that same home in the Charlotte region would be about what, six and a half. let alone, and it's what, 420 right now in Blythewood. And I see Blythewood as far as again, I'm not comparing Charlotte to Atlanta in terms of what's bringing people to the area, but I'll say in the next 5, maybe 7 years, Blythewood I think will still be considered a suburb of Charlotte. Now, extended out suburb of Charlotte, but I think it will be that far out. I mean, it's about what, an hour
Depending on how you
from
drive.
Charlotte. Well,
Yeah,
I
I could
drive
probably get
fast,
there on
so
45.
yeah, I mean, I drive fast. So I mean, it's no different than York, because by the time you like York, by the time you go through all the back roads and everything, you're an hour out.
Yeah. And
Right?
so and that's really a question. Would you live 1 hour outside of a metro city if you live there? Like, what does that commute, would you do it if the price was right, on the home that you
Yeah.
wanted?
Would I do it, or just would anybody do it? That's just a question you have to ask yourself. Where I
I
am in
would.
my life now, I would. Now, I'm I'm proud to say I'm 40. I didn't think I would see 40. I am 40. Um, so yeah, I would do it now. But
Man, you're
if
old.
you
Good God.
really,
Um,
I mean, I'm over here waiting. I have some gray in here. I'm waiting for the whole beard and everything to be gray. That's what I want. That's my goal. I was joking, earlier this week, saying I'm gonna dye it gray, all gray one day, and I'm gonna come to the office. But what's my goal? But yeah, if I was 25 or even just turned 30, no, I wanted to be. Well, I told you I was uptown. I wanted to be in Huntersville. I wanted to be in Birkdale. Um, so I get it. Different age demographics are okay with being further out. And what, I have 2 girls now, right? I don't need to be in the middle of everything. So just yeah, good question. Would you live an hour out? And there's not, well, in 5 to 7 years, I believe there will be tons of things to do out in that area. But right now, can it compare with the amenities and stuff of even Fort Mill? No, not right now, but it will.
yeah, and that's what I try to get people, to understand. Um, I just had an epiphany. I really need to start doing content because, you know,
You just found that out? Somebody's been telling you this for a while. I don't know who that could have been. Somebody's been telling you this for
listen, I had to have an
some
epiphany.
time.
But yeah, so, I just have a love hate relationship with the camera, but all of these questions, and I get it from, when I have these consultations, people tell me like, oh, I wish I knew this information. I'm just like, I should put it out.
Put it out. Put it out. Where am I at right now? All right, here we go. So let's talk about home buying grants. Now, we're going to touch on some general ones, but then I want to touch on the $25,000 one after we touched on these ones. And these came to my mind because we had somebody from Chase come in to our office to speak to our agents about the different programs Chase has. Now, Chase is the largest bank here in the country. I think it's the largest bank. I don't think that's a stretch. But they're very conservative when it comes to lending and everything like that. But if you can get approved with them, because again, they're more strict, they have different grants and everything that you can take advantage of depending on the property and everything like that. So let's
Before you
touch
go,
on,
before you
yes,
move forward, let's just touch on what is a grant. So a grant is going to
perfect,
be monies with no strings attached. There is no repayment. There's no, penalties. If you sell, a grant is free money.
perfect. And Nick Carl, 3%. Real quick, I'll answer your question. Do I expect interest rates to drop after the election and inventory remain low? Yes, I expect when we get further in this video, we're going to talk about interest rates, what's happening right now, And do I think they will continue to drop after the election? Yes. And do I think inventory will remain low? Yes. Reason why is I don't think they'll drop enough to bring a swarm of sellers to come to the market. Inventory just isn't going to pop up overnight in new construction. So those homes would have already had been started for them to come to the market and be ready, come November, December. So that inventory is already kind of baked in what's going to be on the market. So the real inventory I'm thinking of is going to be sellers coming to the market. That's going to be the push for a whole bunch of inventory. And I don't think it's going to be at a huge scale. But first time home buyer grants, where it's money that you do not have to repay back. Talk about some of the banks that offer it. Bank grants. We talked about Bank of America. I I have several videos about different Bank of America grants on my channel. And I even did a sit down with one of my clients that took advantage of one of their grants and how much of a blessing it was to her and her process and what it takes to get it. So Bank of America offers grants, several different type of grants. One of them is 17,000. They offer one of them 7,500, and then in certain markets you can get 3% down payment grants, offering 3% up to $10,000. So we do have that available. We talked about Chase. Eligible home borrowers can get $7,500 to lower their interest rate. Now that could, depending on what you do with it, that could lower your interest rate significantly, whether a whole point or a half a point, making your monthly payment, a couple $100 less, which could go a long way. And depending on where you're at, again, location, they have a Dreammaker loan. And the Dreammaker loan, actually, I did a video on this. I don't know if I put it out. Talk about making content and not putting it out. I did a video on this last week after talking to David, to where the Dreammaker loan is a FHA loan, and FHA typically comes with PMI. This, you have PMI, but the PMI is reduced 30%. So it's more affordable and not as much money coming out of your pocket with the PMI loan. So that's something that is offered here in the Charlotte area. Wells Fargo, you have home buyer access grant up to $10,000 for buyers who do not make more than 120% of the area's median income. I think that is about $78,000, $79,000 here in the Charlotte area.
And also to piggyback on the one from Wells Fargo. So when you're moving from a certain area, so we have a client who's moving from New York, and just because she's moving from there, she was eligible for an additional $5,000 grant as well. So if you're moving from a certain area, you can get additional grants.
Most definitely. We can pair you with some local lenders that are aware of the different grants throughout the country, the relocation grants. We are working with one with guarantee rate. She was on the channel, Sahad, Washington, and she was able to get a couple of my clients some relocation grants as well. Welfare office. I'm not sure why your messages are getting deleted. I want to have the discussion. I'm not deleting any messages. We don't have an admin on the chat. Now, if you're writing any profanities, YouTube might be deleting it, but I can't speak on, we're not deleting it. So I can't speak on why your messages are getting deleted. PNC Bank, moving on, they're offering a $5,000 credit to be put towards your down payment, closing costs, or other fixed costs. Citibank, $7,500 in credit for closing costs. Ally. Then you have the federal grants, Home Path Ready loan. We can get up to 3% toward closing costs for a Fannie Mae property. And in state and local grants, I'm trying to think.
So for North Carolina, we have the 15,000 North Carolina Housing Finance. And then also so for South Carolina, there's $8,000. And then these different programs, some of them can be stacked together. So you can take advantage of different grants um, down payment assistance, and you can stack them together as well. So there's,
which I,
different possibilities there.
which I definitely recommend. And if you want to use these grants and everything, we talked about timing, right? Now is the time when the housing market is a little slower to take advantage of these grants and to use them, because when it is very competitive, again, I'm not, I'm just being honest with you and real. When it's very competitive, if my client is coming with an offer that has, it has down payment assistance or grants tied to it, but Amber Neek's client is offering the same price, if not even a little less, but doesn't have the third party grants or just grants or down payment assistance, the sellers, this is just my experience, the sellers take the offer without the grants or the third party assistance. Now, is it right? Is it fair? The sellers are looking out for themselves, and they more than likely have a home they have something they need to do, either buy a home or move somewhere else. So if the closing gets delayed or if that third party can't come through, their plans are now messed up. So they can't bank on or rely on their own plans being in jeopardy because of this grant program not having their stuff together.
Yes, and to add on to that, because on average with grant programs, down payment assistance, your closing is 30 to 45 days. Some of them you can get done sooner, but when you're looking at a conventional loan, you can get them closed in 14, 21 days. So that's why the sellers would rather go where they can get their money as quick as possible.
Yep. And I was in a position where it was actually a new home with True Homes, actually. And this was a couple years ago. My client stacked three different programs, ended up getting about $55,000 worth of down payment assistance. She's amazing. She's a genius. She's a paralegal. And I'm just being honest, I could not have done what she did. She layered it perfectly, right? Um, but we were threatened ad nauseum by True Homes because it took an additional 45 days. And technically, when you see these contracts, especially with the builders, if you don't close on the closing date, they can charge you an additional at that contract. I believe it was $150 every single day you don't close. So I don't know what the math is, but 45 days times $150, that would have made the home unaffordable for her. And we were able to work some magic and to where she could buy it, and they did not charge her the money. But just to let you know, it's not entirely uncommon for there to be a delay, especially when you're working with these different agencies to get you free money. And not everybody's going to be as I wouldn't even say True Homes was as considerate, because I had to like fight tooth and nail with them. But they have big money. They're a builder. They have big wallets. If you're dealing with just a normal seller, they don't have 45 days to hope that you're going to get everything together for you to buy a home, right? So you got to keep that in consideration.
But also, so do you want to touch on, I would say let's touch on why, it takes additional time. So,
Hmm.
because, the person who said about terms. So the reason being is underwriting. And
Yep.
what underwriters do is they verify all of the information that you have provided. So when you have grants and down payment assistance. For each program that you have, it has to go through a separate underwriter. And the underwriter is a person just like Sir and I sitting there, and they're going through documents. And they can, push back at any time and say, hey, this isn't good enough. I need additional information. So that's, to go more in depth on why a seller would be more reluctant, to take an offer with down payment assistance when they have just a traditional, conventional or FHA loans with no additional underwriting terms that have to go through.
Most definitely. Most definitely. No, thank you for breaking that down. Um, we will talk about relocation grants. We can get Sahad and some other lenders on talking about the different relocation grants. moving to the Carolinas, and what that means now is obviously it's different depending on what state you're moving from. Different states offer different relocation grants, or we offer different relocation grants depending on which state you're moving from. And two,
Yeah.
because you might get it if you move to North Carolina, but you might not get it if you move to South Carolina or vice versa. So we will definitely do a live stream talking about that. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you can be aware of when we come live. Now we should come live every Monday at 7:40, unless Ambernique's late.
I'm debating if I'll be able to. I don't know if I'll be able to make next live. I'm going to Miami. Um,
Here you go. See, I'm on vacation right now. I'm making it happen.
no, I'll be back by Monday, but I'll be in Miami from Thursday to Sunday.
So
My
wait,
voice
we
may
getting
be
you in my.
gone.
Hold on, hold on. We'll talk offline. You going to Miami? We can't come to New Orleans. That's what I'm hearing right now.
Huh?
Well, yeah, huh? We'll talk offline. Talk offline. Because yeah, I need you in New Orleans.
Yeah, and Michelle, so sir, drop the link to the forum. So Michelle, we would love to connect with you, to discuss your relocation needs, where you're coming from, so we can create a personalized plan for you.
Yes, and we're actually putting together now. I have in the description a write up regarding it's like a 400-page PDF about the Charlotte area. All things you need to know about the Charlotte area. Yes, you can watch videos. I understand videos can be more entertaining unless I'm doing them, but you can read about it. You can read about all that Charlotte has to offer, the schools, the locations, the neighborhoods in this guide. And it's free. Put it in the description. It's there. It's been there for the past year and a half. Now I'm putting together a new one talking about the South Carolina region and what it has to offer and different opportunities we have there. See, we have a question. Do you have a YouTube channel as well, Ambernique?
So I am in the
Get
process
her,
of
get her.
creating
I
my
talked to her
YouTube
earlier
channel.
today about this.
So I will have one. So I guess I have to be here on Monday. I am creating one, so I would love for you all to subscribe. You guys know I'm going to be more entertaining than Sir, and we will talk about crabs. I may go live eating crabs.
Oh man, I don't even want to. Yeah, no, no. Yeah, y'all can have that. Y'all can have that.
So there are options with NACA, but you
Hmm.
want to, being that you have, what is it called? An agent. So discuss with them because if your agent works with NACA and they have experience doing so, they'll be able to, guide you through and also reach out to your counselor and they'll tell you, what grants are available because their underwriting go through Bank of America actually.
Oh nope, I just put up the wrong thing. Sorry. I want to talk about this $25,000 grant here in the Charlotte area, and I am having a tough time pulling it up. Hold on. All right. So we have a seminar coming up in Gastonia, coming this Saturday, July 20th, taking place at 200 East Long Avenue, where it's going to talk to the residents of Gastonia about receiving a $25,000 in down payment assistance. Now, granted, yes, the event is 4 hours long, but you're able to learn about getting up to $25,000 in down payment assistance. That can go a long way for any home purchase, right? And parts of Gastonia, that will cover all of your down payment and will dive into some of your closing costs as well. So this is something, an opportunity that, again, if you're in the greater Charlotte region, you need to seriously consider this and go there. I will be there. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna be there the entire 4 hours, if I'm being honest, but I will be there to learn about it and to partake in the seminar because, again, this is just an opportunity that I believe more people need to be made aware of. There'll be mortgage lenders who answer your questions, and you need to, again, avail yourself of these opportunities.
Yeah, and sir, while you're there, I want you to find out
Yes,
for me if the 25,000 can be paired with the 15,000 from North Carolina Housing Finance.
I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Sorry, I got my daughter coming inside right now. Um, I kicked him outside. I kicked him out. Um, I kicked him out. Uh, Thank you. Looking around at the Greenville and surrounding areas as well. Yes, Michelle, I really like the Greenville area. Reach out to us. We can definitely help. I was there. It's been about a month now. I want to say just recently, but it doesn't seem like it's been that long. About a month now, and we go up there pretty regularly. You were in Spartanburg not too long ago, which is not that far away
I was in
from Greenville.
Greenville. I was in Greenville 2 weeks ago. I was out there
Yeah.
with a client, and Michelle. I got a restaurant spot that I like out there, California Dreamings. That they have the best croissants. So yeah,
Now, I didn't go to any restaurants. I did go to a cigar bar, which was very nice in Greenville.
Yeah, I go to restaurants everywhere that I go. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Um, so again, $25,000 grant, up to 20 down payment assistance. The seminar is Saturday, July 20th at the Gastonia Police Department at 200 East Long Avenue. Now, if you have any, now this is the criminal defense attorney in me. If you have any outstanding warrants, you may want to buy a home, but going to that one seminar may not be the best thing, right? If you have any outstanding warrants.
Yeah, so I would just say just tune in next week to figure out what Sir learned because they can't
Exactly,
discriminate
exactly.
on you if you got a record.
No, not at all, not at all. Um, and let's touch on Carl's 3% real quick. I'm gonna get you all wrapped up. So again, I have my daughter's outside. Now, granted, it's warm out there. You see, it's beautiful out there. There's a pool. They're chilling, but I still want to get them inside. Uh, where am I at here?
Whose question are you on? Jocelyn put another. Let's see. So you want to reach out to your counselor because your counselor, well, you can reach out to your realtor because she should have access to your file, just to see what you can qualify for. But your counselor can ask those particular question because the grants you have to qualify for them. So we don't want to tell you, any grants that you could get, and we can't, we don't know the background of things of what you can qualify for. But keep us updated. Congratulations. We're so happy for
Yes.
you.
Congratulations, Jocelyn. Thank you for being so engaging in this chat. I appreciate
What we
you.
giving?
And
Let's give
wait,
Jocelyn.
hold on. Crabs, is there a restaurant for crabs in the Greenville area? You got Michelle asking.
There's girl. I look it up. I love crabs.
Here we go. Here we go. Now, before we talk about the giveaway, let's talk about Carl, 3%, talking about the Fed and interest rates. Now, this is where I like to get a little nerdy, is when they calculate the interest rate or the federal funds rate, or well, inflation, sorry. Inflation is right above 3% right now. But when they factor in housing, they're looking at past data. Housing is a what they call a lagging indicator. So they're not taking today's housing information, they're taking the accumulation of the last 12 months of housing data and factoring that in. Now, if they just looked at the housing data for the past, what, maybe 5 to 6 months, and you calculated that, interest rates, our inflation will be right around 2%. So, Powell's a smart person. He knows this. So he's saying, he's indicating, and this article is from, I think it was earlier today. Yes, earlier today, July 15th. He knows where inflation is and everything like that, given housing being a lagging indicator, that the Fed will not wait until inflation is down to 2% before cutting rates. Because if the reading right now is saying inflation is down 2%, it's actually much better than that, because again, housing is a lagging indicator. So I believe two things is that interest rates will come down for the sheer fact that banks know that the Fed is not going to increase rates, or they're confident that the Fed is not going to increase rates. So they're going to lower the spread between the federal funds rate and what they're charging the public. And that compression of the spread is going to cause interest rates to come down. Now, we have about 80 points spread that they could lower, and that will bring rates down to what, 6%, if they just did that. Now, if the Fed we cut interest rates in addition to banks reducing the spread, we're talking rates in the fives at that point. So yes, I think rates will come down. Do I think they'll be in the fives by the end of the year? No, I think they'll be in the low sixes. And depending on inventory and how many people are in the housing market, we're able to get concessions and get your interest rate in the low fives, if not high fours, if we play our cards right, depending on the market and just structuring the deal. So that's my 2 cents regarding the housing market and inflation and interest rates, and what Jerome Powell is doing, um,
But
and if they're going to cut rates.
I think people think it's going to go down back down to 3%.
They should not be naive.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Not to be funny.
I've been telling people.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's one of those things to where you tell me another time interest rates were that low. Now, granted, we've lived through a lot in the last 5 years. We've gone through a pandemic, right? We've had a attack on our capital, right? We had a failed assassination just this past, yesterday, 2 days ago,
You
of a
think
former president.
Well,
I don't want to get into it. I don't even want to go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't think, you know what, just, it wasn't,
Go ahead.
I don't think it was real. I saw somebody put up like, blood from Party City and was like, is this the blood that was used on Trump Air? Like, he's just trying to get in that seat. But I don't believe that rates are going to go down much at all, because when have you seen that they have made home ownership so easy? So as far as, taking the stipulations away with getting gift funds, medical bills, student loans, they've made it too accessible. So rates are not going to drop much at all.
Something has to give.
Giving us little pinches.
Like, something has to give, right? To where, and I'm with you, we've lowered the barrier and allowed more people to be able to qualify, with just student loans being forgiven. Well, a medical bill is not being taken into consideration. That is huge. And that was the present administration, right? That was the present administration. To be able to be a financial relief to a lot of people to make home ownership attainable. And they even have programs and trying to pass legislation to where they want to give up to $25,000 in home buying grants and everything like that. Now, if you have more people being able to get qualified, more money being given, and interest rates coming down, you better believe home prices are going to skyrocket. So there has to be some kind of balance here. We can't. Everybody says they want everything, and you ever been around that child that get everything they want? They're
Spoiled
insufferable.
brat.
They're insufferable, right? They're just insufferable. So I understand people want everything. Reality is we're not going to be able to get everything because that thing that we say we want is going to make it unattainable so we can't actually get home ownership, right? So everything's with a grain of salt.
How
Everything's with
many
a grain of
people we
salt.
have watching right now?
We have 23. I think the height was around 30.
23 people.
Yes.
I need drop the link to the forum. 10 people to sign up right now because we need you guys to get off the sidelines. Now is the absolute best time. You don't know where things are going to go. Um, but yeah, I'm not going to be too rough because when we get in a
No, 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 no,
consultation,
no. You gotta give
y'all
it to
try to
them.
make me out to be
You
the bad
you've
person.
been very polite and soft these last 3 weeks. Where's death row Amber Neat?
I'm trying to live a soft life, you know.
Where's death row Amber Neat? Come on.
But no, seriously,
Yeah.
I think we've had 4 people sign up since we have been on, which is amazing. We need
On
10
tonight.
more
Since
tonight.
you've been on
Tonight,
tonight.
while
Yes,
we have
yes.
been on, 4 people have signed up to take that leap, to take advantage of this market because it is a really great market. Who's paying rent right now has been on their job 2 years or self-employed 2 years, 2 years of income, and you
Yep.
have $500 to take a home off the market. You're already paying rent, you're already paying somebody's mortgage, it's just not your own, and you're ready to build wealth for you and your family. I need 10 people right now.
Now, while we're waiting on those 10 people, I have a question for
What's
you.
up?
The I had Matt call me. Was that your client that went under contract, put that offer in that house on 803? Was that you? Did I
Oh, and
lose to you?
that's another thing. Slow
Yeah.
feet do not eat.
She's talking about me. She's talking about me. So
811
we
is available.
that's what he told me. All right, forget both of
And
y'all.
I do
So
have somebody that's getting pre-approved. Listen, let me tell you something. A woman came to my door today and rang
mhm.
my bell and asked me. I had like a little mini consultation on my camera and asked me, are these homes for rent or for sale? And I was just like, we had a 5-minute conversation. I'm just like, take my number down, give me a call and let's
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead and discuss options. So when I
Hey, yo,
tell you
Matt just needs
guys,
to put us on. Matt needs to just. We need to. We'll talk about it. We need to just represent him for all of all their properties.
oh, so I did speak with him. So he's
I know
a
we can
long,
market them and all that, but we need to like do more than
oh
just
yeah,
marketing.
I'm getting signs made to put out front because he doesn't have any
Mhm.
out there.
Nice.
So, and that's another builder, guys. We built a relationship. Our firm, out of 5, is it 5 or 6 houses? We
It's
have
5, I
4.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
4 under contract. So, we're out in the community, we're doing
We're
business. We do this full time every day, and we are creating those relationships to whereas, builders are coming to us for our
and we
clients.
most definitely they come to us because they know we have the clientele, and we form these relationships with builders and developers because if you wait until the home hits the market, especially we talk about builders that build anywhere from 250 to 350 price point. If you're waiting for that home to come to the market, there's going to be competition. more than likely, right? And I would much rather get it under contract before it's even built, so you don't have to worry about competition. You can lock in the price and go from there, because we don't know what the price is going to be, especially in that price point, because it's more competitive in that price point by the time they're finished. Last thoughts, comments regarding what giveaway? I know we talked about it. I don't know if we solidified the plans and all that, so I'll let you do so regarding the
Uh,
giveaway.
yeah. So tonight, so um, Jocelyn Brown. I said let's give her $100 Amazon card. She was very engaging. Thank you so much. I believe she was the first person to start the engagement. She's in the NACA program. Thank you. We appreciate you. And then we are going to be doing a 75-inch TV giveaway.
Now, real quick before that, Jocelyn, send your information to info@sirashley.com. Need your obviously your name, number, email, and I'll form a. So this goes. This isn't my personal email. This goes to like the company email, and I'll make sure Ambernique is aware, and we'll make sure we get you that gift card. God is good. We
All the
want to be a blessing
time.
to y'all. We want to be a blessing to y'all.
And
Now,
listen,
before we talk about the
we get it.
75-inch,
Oh, okay.
our ranch floor plans harder to find in Charlotte. It seems like everyone is either only building townhomes or even in a single family communities are always two-story. Yes, ranches are more rare because if you think about it, they take up more land. In the Charlotte area, the biggest commodity is the land. So if you're telling me you want a 2,000 square foot ranch, that home has to be wide and has to be on a larger piece of land. Whereas if it's 2,000 square feet, two-story home, it can be more narrow and they're building on top of each other. I mean, there's floors go on top of each other. So yes, ranches, while there's certain communities, reach out to us. We can find there's several communities that offer ranch style homes, but are they less to come by than two-story homes? Most definitely. And our ranches typically cost more? Yes,
But
because there's
are
more
they?
land with it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say they're hard to find like it's impossible,
No,
because
no, right, right.
there are builders who have the floor plans, but also the average person does not want a ranch. So in these new communities you may see a
Yeah.
ranch here, a ranch there. That's because most people don't pick ranches. And a lot of smaller builders who does spec homes, and what a spec
Mhm.
home is when you build on a lot in an already developed community, they're doing ranches. So I wouldn't say, it's hard to find. So they're out there. Um, so yeah, there are options for
Yeah,
ranches. It's just the
there are.
preferred. Most people would prefer a two-story home with owners on the main.
Don't cry, Jocelyn. Don't cry. No, you are. We appreciate you. We appreciate your engagement, and we want to congratulate you on becoming a homeowner. A win is a win, right? And we want to celebrate every win. Again, this community isn't about just the people part of this community. Like you have to work with us. No, a win is a win. We want everybody to win and have get on the property ladder. So giveaway, other giveaway.
Oh, so we are going to be raffling off a 75-inch TV. So, being that I am finally going to be coming to social media, it's going to be very obtainable and easy to get. You would just have to make sure that you're following Sirs and I social medias. And then, what else, sir? Was that it?
I think that was it.
And just join in the
Follow
Facebook
and
group.
share. Yeah, and join the Facebook group, right? Yeah.
So, it's 3 easy steps to get into winning a 75-inch TV. And we're
So
not
my
going to get y'all that
Instagram.
cheap stuff. We're not going to do a TCL. We're not going to do it on. We're going to do.
I'm not gonna lie. That's because of Ambernique. I was it was about to be on. That's what it was, it was about to be. But
So yes,
But
but
due to
we'll
my
give out the
sister,
details
she
next
got
Monday.
y'all.
Yeah, I like
So
Samsung. I like nice stuff, y'all.
does it work?
Sir cheap. Sir is cheap. Huh?
I said, does it work? Hey, can you still watch Hulu? Can you still watch Netflix on it?
But the quality is different.
4K is 4K. I
4K
understand.
with the
Yeah, no,
different
I get it.
resolutions. We
I
can't be
got it.
out
I got it.
here selling these homes. Let's see.
That is true. That is true. Nah, we appreciate y'all rocking with us tonight. It is what 9:07. Any parting words, Ambernique?
Michelle,
Michelle has makes perfect sense. Interested in single family as well. Aging parent is the reason, or an in-law suite. Now, there's several. Actually, I went out with a couple people recently where they want two owner suites on the first floor, or two suites on the first floor. And there's several floor plans in the Charlotte area that can accomplish that. I know you're looking in the Greenville area, Michelle. I have to familiarize myself with all the builders there,
I have
and I'm
builders there.
yeah, we can make that happen as well. I know there's some builders that do offer either two suites, or the way you can configure it, you can almost have like a whole bedroom, bathroom, um, living room in the front of the home, to where that could be for the in-laws. But I think that's all I have to say this week. I have, again, it's getting a little darker outside, and I don't hear my kids, so I'm like a little concerned. Hopefully
Well,
they're okay.
definitely, definitely get to the kids, guys. This was amazing. We appreciate the engagement. We are here and we do this for you. So if you have any questions, definitely, come here with them. Jot your questions down. We are here every Monday at
Every
7:40.
every day, you heard that, right? Every Monday you said this, so don't be giving me Miami as an excuse next Monday.
Well, next Monday when y'all, I'm be coming in like, yeah, I'm gonna have a ball.
Nah, you deserve it. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Make sure you stop into one of our lifestyle offices while you're in Miami, so you can write off this trip.
I'll stop at Lifestyle first thing Thursday when I get there.
Make sure you check it out. Check out the new home office. Check it out.
Okay. Yeah, I will. Thank you all. So, sir, how are we going to do it as far as, on the live stream leading up? Can we put out what the raffle rules are going to be, or, what it takes to qualify? How are we going to do with that?
I can put it on so I have a community tab on this YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel, and on the community chat tab, I will make a post where it'll just say what you need to do. Follow my Instagram. I'll have my Instagram. We'll have Ambernique's Instagram, and then it will have the community, the Empower 50 community as well. So we'll make sure that can go out. I want to say tomorrow, but as you see, I'm on vacation, so it may be Wednesday.
Yeah. And as always, tell a friend. Don't be a hoarder of information. We
No,
love you
no.
all.
Yeah.
This was
We're
great.
here to help. We're here to help. All right. Now, you have a
Well,
good
get
night.
back to your vacation. Good night,
Yeah.
everybody.
Bye.